Today I'm going to be doing another reaction video to one of my first speeches from 10 years ago. And I'm basically going to be talking about employment. 10 years ago I said that I was worried I would never get a job. Well, let's actually compare myself now to then, and let's see what I have now achieved in terms of employment. Now, do enjoy the speech.
Why do I want work? It'll give me self-respect. I like to earn my own money. It'll be a greater independence. It'll give me something to do in life. I think some of them are probably the same reasons why anyone would really want work. And there are actually a few things which would make me a pretty good employee as well. For example, I'm hard-working and precise. I don't sound big-headed. And when I understand an instruction, I will follow it very carefully. And with the preciseness, I can actually sometimes annoy people a bit, because if I have like some CDs that I'm going to put in a case, I'll always make sure they're absolutely straight. Because if they're slightly out of position, that's terrible. They need to be straight, otherwise that is just no good. So I think that can be an advantage to an employer. However, even though there are many positives and things that should maybe be a good employee, there are also some difficulties that I have which may get in the way of finding and keeping a job. I'm just going to say each one to you. Well, not each one, but because there's so many, but some of them. The first thing is the interview situation. Now, most of you probably had a job interview, and it was a really nerve-wracking experience. You were all really nervous. But for me, it wouldn't just be nerve-wracking, it would be anxiety. You know, you'd just be interviewed by all these complete strangers, and I'd be panicking all the way through because I'd be like worried that I wouldn't get the job. And of course, the questions would be very difficult to answer anyway. If it was just someone who I knew, it would be especially difficult with like a complete stranger.
Now, about the job interview, I would actually have something to add to that now. At this point, I had never experienced a job interview, so my talks of being stressful were all purely just from what I'd heard of others. And people had told me that the interview would be stressful for autistic people, but I hadn't actually experienced one myself. Now I kind of have, sort of. It wasn't like a job interview where, in the normal sense, but I did once, a few years ago now, I did experience kind of a job interview for the Kerr Council. And I can confirm now it was definitely a stressful experience. We sat around this table and all these people talking, and I just could not process what was going on. It was just really hard. And when I came to, basically I had to give a speech as part of working on the Kerr Council, and I think I was speaking about how best to help people with disabilities in the UK or something. I think it was about how best, I can't remember for sure, but it was something about how best to help disabled people succeed. And I remember mentioning in the speech, I remember saying beforehand, oh, well, you have to wait till it's time. Like, basically I was told to give the speech before it was officially my time to give it, but because as far as I was concerned, I had a set time. I actually made them wait for the set time, and I don't know if they were that so impressed with that.
And the next problem is learning difficulties, which, hence the name, means you've got difficulty learning. And so there are certainly things which I struggle with, and I certainly couldn't have a job in those areas, like maths. Now, our next problem is health problems. Now, I have pretty bad asthma, and when it gets out of control, it usually affects my autism to a degree as well, as in I can be in a complete daze and just not with it at all. So I think that could be a disadvantage. Now, and of course, there's lack of awareness of hazards. Now, most people, they seem to automatically see hazards, no matter what they're focusing on. They just seem to automatically see them and pick them up without thinking. I have to be focusing on them to see them. Otherwise, I'll just completely miss them, and it'll be as if they're not even there. For example, I did this course in horse care on a Friday, and if I open the gate to maybe put the head collar on the horse, I might leave the gate open so then the horse could escape. Okay, the next problem is travelling to a place of work, since I can't drive. Now, you might be thinking, well, there's one very easy solution to that. You could learn to drive. Well, a think that would be very difficult for me to pass my test because of a lot of reasons. My sister's 22 and she's failed the driving test 10 times. So I think it'd be very difficult for me to, and even if I did manage to pass my test, I don't think I'd be a very trustworthy driver because I'd probably be like on the road, concentrating. But then I'd see someone walking on the pavement with a camera, and I must have a glimpse of that camera. Wow, that is so posh. Wow, gosh! So I think after hearing that story, you'd be worrying if I was driving, wouldn't you? You certainly wouldn't want to get into a car.
I said I wanted to accomplish work. Well, the question is, have I done that? Well, yes, I have. Since I am now I'm now giving speeches on the subject of autism and have gone into business doing this. However, at the moment, ever since lockdown, I haven't had so much opportunities to speak. This year, I haven't really been having that many speeches to do. And during lockdown, I had very few. I had some online. I had some where I did them over Zoom and such, but as for the most part, it's been fairly limited, really. So I'm hoping and praying that I get more opportunities to do these speeches. And it also goes without, and it also has to be said that I definitely could not be in business doing speeches on autism if I didn't have all the support. I have an enormous amount of support from my mum, and my mum does so much, really helps me out a lot. And if it wasn't for this, I definitely would not be able to do it. And many autistic people need support to be able to get a job, and it's often just so hard to find the appropriate support.
Hello again, I hope you enjoyed my reaction video. I think this goes to show you how the autism and employment is often very, very hard for autistic people to find employment. I'm not the only one that would find it hard, that tends to find it hard. It is a growing problem. There are around 500,000 autistic people in this country, and only around 16% of autistic adults are in full-time paid employment. Yet, I think it's pretty apparent that many, many more than that are capable and do want to work, but finding the right job and finding the appropriate support is extremely difficult. I think that going into business giving speeches on autism has definitely been a big benefit for me, and I do hope that I do get more opportunities to speak soon. I definitely would struggle to get a job otherwise. Now, thank you all for watching. Please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and my goal is to try and reach 1,000 subscribers. That is what I'd like to achieve, to try and get the message of autism to as many people as possible. So please do share this video around, and please do hit the like button. It really helps me out. And post me a comment on your thoughts and give me feedback as well on how I can improve these videos. Take care. Goodbye for now.